Hey there, everyone. So, had quite a few people comment on one of the last videos that I did, how they enjoyed watching me burn the Palo Santo. If you were not around for that video, Palo Santo is a sacred wood that is used to clear energy, very much like white sage would usually be used, and very much used in the Catholic Church and other denominations as well, which is just something that clears the air of negativity. A lot of people use it even for divination to watch the smoke and see what kind of messages it brings through. I do this from time to time myself as well, and I like to just watch it and just, you know, set the mood, because it does give you a very calming kind of a feeling, and it clears the air. It's got a wonderful smell, a little bit sweet but not too sweet, and it lasts for ages as well. So you just burn a little bit, you can blow it out however you like, and it lets off this lovely smoke that is fragrant but in all the best ways, and very calming. And yeah, I just find it really great to just sit with it for a few minutes or a few seconds. All right, so we set the intention for messages to come through for whoever's meant to hear this right now. This message will be timeless, so whenever this person comes across it, it'll be the message that they need to hear, or at least there will be something in here that will be very important that they would need to know right now in this moment, whenever that moment is for them. Okay. I always ask that the information comes through as clearly as possible, in a way that I understand and that I can easily impart to whoever needs to hear this. I actually grabbed these thinking that they were the Archangel Tarot, but it was the Energy Oracle, which is obviously what I'm meant to be using. So we're going to see what comes up with this today, because obviously I need to be using this to tap into the energy of whoever's message this is. For those of you who are new here, I do ad hoc readings from time to time whenever the feeling grabs me, or I feel there's a message that wants to come through. And like I said initially, this is something that you will hear whenever you need to hear it. They're timeless readings, so whenever you get the messages, when you meant to get the message. And it's not to say that everything is going to be relevant, because sometimes there's a message for more than one person, but there will certainly be something that's important for you to hear. Okay, so I need to cut the cards. Journey. All right. And I'm going to take the 3 below that. Thank you. Okay, so there seems to be, whether this is a figurative journey or an actual journey that you're physically going to be taking, I feel as if somebody is mentally prepared for this. I feel like they might be traveling with somebody else. They're not necessarily going to be on their own. Might be 2 people traveling together. And I feel like there's a bit of an urgency or an impatience here, because the patience card about divine timing is coming up, showing that there is a lack of patience here, or something that feels urgent for us. And it's urging us not to feel urgent about it, and trust that when the time is right, the time is right. And if we wait for that exact moment, that's going to be the deciding factor, that's going to be making the difference between a I don't want to call it an ordinary experience, but potentially the difference between something that could be ordinary and something that could be extraordinary. All right. And there's some fears around this. I feel like there's fears around relationships, certain things coming to an end, having to finalize certain things. She's packed her bags already. I just want to see what else is going on here. All right, so what I'm being told here is there's so many different things that are going to come through that are going to be little pearls of wisdom, little occurrences, experiences that are going to come along this path that are going to be so valuable. It's like be willing to take the scenic route, be willing to take the long way, because that's exactly what is important here. It's almost like there's there's little details or intricacies along the way that are going to be so integral in your growth, so integral in the steps of this journey that are going to be important in your life lessons. And you need to not be afraid to move on from that, move on to things that you don't know. There might be a couple of different elements that are foreign to you, or that are unknown, or someone else is organizing the trip to some degree, whatever it might be. It's saying, trust the process, let this happen. Don't be afraid of this happening, okay, in the way that it's happening. Allow Spirit to take that lead and walk on the bridge, trust where it's taking you, okay, trust that it has the strength to hold you up. The second chakra here is what I was talking about when I was talking about, us feeling like we are struggling a little bit, maybe with relationships, maybe there's a bit of difficulty there, or we are feeling like we're having to leave certain connections, or whatever the case might be here. You could be moving for work or something like that, and then you're losing work friends, whatever it is that is the dynamic coming in here. There's fears and reservations around certain things, and it's around also maybe new people that you might meet, or being vulnerable in situations. This often talks about our creativity and our sensuality that comes through when it comes to relationships and actually making contact with people, and those intimate moments between people in real true connections that we may be a little bit afraid of opening up with that, or what lies ahead, having concerns around that. And I really feel like that's not necessary, because there's this powerful spiritual force that is trying to get you to a point where things are going to work themselves out. All right, just because we don't always have control doesn't mean things are not going to work out, of that there's going to be something bad happening here. Okay, it's amazing how these messages come through. It's quite amusing sometimes. Okay, so this little post here, this lamppost is shining a light on her way. It's lighting her way, and it's a little bit crooked. Can you see how it's not perfect? It's not straight. So it's almost like her path is not perfect or straight, but she needs to trust that. It doesn't mean it works any better or any worse. That lamp still works perfectly. It's still lighting her way. It's still doing its job. But it's a little bit crooked, and it's got a couple of options and a little bit of a twist and turn in the road potentially. But it's like, this is still perfectly fine. Don't think because it's not a straight, dead straight road and straight ahead, that it's not going to be constructive or have these wonderful hidden meanings and experiences along the way. We then have the action card, and I feel like this card often talks to me about perspective, because I always am drawn to that hawk in the sky, okay, and this positive and negative, or this balance that needs to be struck here, but like a yin and yang, the passive and the expansive movement, the forward movement, and the ability to also be receptive and sensitive to things around you. But the hawk or the eagle, whatever it is at the top there, is a reminder of keeping perspective. So having a bird's eye view, zooming yourself out of the situation and not getting too enmeshed in the emotions and the the technicalities and all the details of things, but zooming out and looking at your situation as if it's happening to somebody else. And, if you'd been given that advice, you'd say to your friend, absolutely wait for the divine timing. If it's going to work out better, have that patience. Don't be afraid. And this is also number 8, which always tells me that there is this ability for us to draw on our inner strength and that we are supported by the universe. It's a very powerful um, energy, a very powerful number that comes through as a supportive number and a supportive energy for us whenever we're dealing with something, especially if it's out of our comfort zone in some way. Okay, I'm going to read this one for you just to show you the bottom of the deck here. The victory card came up in reverse, but I don't feel like that's how I have to read it. I feel like your concerns are that this is not going to work out. This is not going to be a victory, but it's quite the opposite. It's saying it's supposed to be this way around. Don't make it something it's not. Don't turn something around to be something that it's not. Don't take a positive and paint it as a negative, because then you are kind of your own worst enemy. All right? You don't want to be shooting yourself in the foot, so to speak. So I'm going to read the action card, and I'm going to read the victory card from the book for you quickly. Okay, action, energizing effort and a willingness to work. This card tells you that now is the time for more aggressive forward movement. The galloping horses represent intentional and concerted action directed towards your goals. This card upright indicates that you are on the right track, but your determined efforts must increase. The white horse is inner action of spirit and thought. The black is the outer work that still needs to be done. So continue taking action and trust your intuition. In time, you will break through and see the results you've been working so hard to create. Okay, that is it. You will see the results. Don't have your doubts about it, okay? You don't want to be feeding into doubts, because whatever we focus on grows. You don't want to be focusing on loss and not being successful. The affirmation for this card says, I'm responsible for my own life. I take action towards my goals and my own happiness every day. Okay, and obviously we work in consort with spirit, and we do allow them to nudge us in the right direction whenever possible. And keep that communication open. Say, show me what's possible. What do I need to do now? If there's nothing I need to do, then I will not be presented with anything. Please tell me when it's the right time to act. Have that conversation. Put it out there. Okay, so this I'm going to read in the reverse position, because this is how it initially came up. It says the victory card reversed signals a delay or reversal in a hoped for outcome, whether it's in a personal change or external achievement. Success may have eluded you for some time, but do not despair. You may need to restructure things, reevaluate, or release one specific outcome and set your sights on another. Whatever's going on externally, remember that the equanimity of peaceful surrender can often be your biggest victory of all. The affirmation says, I am achieving great things within myself and in the world. I see myself as successful in many wonderful ways, even now. Okay, so that's the mindset that we should not be in, and it does give the feeling of delays when we see that we do have to have patience. But this is for some kind of higher purpose. There's something going on that we maybe don't see. All right, and we're being asked to trust. We're being asked to trust the rickety little bridge and know that it's going to take us where we need to go, and that rickety old lamp that's still working just as well and shining just as bright, even if it's not dead straight, if it's not a dead straight path. So I will read you the victory card in the way that it's supposed to be, okay, in the mindset we're supposed to be in. Success and achievement, that's the only thing you need to think of this as, all right? This card shows a beautiful spirit holding a golden victory wreath in acknowledgement of your achievement. Success is on its way, and you have a sense of pride in what you've worked to accomplish. The achievement may be a great outer success, or it may be a deep inner change that you've been exerting a lot of effort towards. Enjoy the sense of accomplishment, but be careful not to rest on your laurels. People expect outer triumph to bring great changes, but often there may still be inner work to do. Let yourself be open to victory on every level now. Sometimes that's the only delay, is something that we need to do in terms of an energy shift, a mindset shift, a realization we have to come to. Or the minute we do relax and say, you know what, I'm not going to try and force this, I'm not going to try and push the issue, I'm just going to allow. Okay, divine timing. I'm not going to panic about it, I'm not going to try and control it. I'm going to take action where I can and do what is required of me to the best of my ability, and the rest will fall into place. I will trust that process. And this girl doesn't look stressed at all. All right, she really does look like she's excited and happy and willing to see where it takes her. So get into that energy and be willing to let spirit kind of nudge you in the right direction. When we work with spirit and we do the best that we can to the best of our ability, that's when things kind of fall into place. You might pack for your trip and you don't pack everything that you need, but it's not the end of the world. Maybe something better will be provided. All right. I wish you all the very, very best for the rest of the week. And yes, hopefully I will chat to you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.